Alright, welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Final Fantasy XVI. We are at the hideaway, ready to go to one of our next two locations. Nordreach or Dali Mill. Hopefully we can do both today, but only one way to find out, and that's to go out and try it. Okay, so which one of the two first? Let's go to Dali Mill. It's the closest by. Make it easier to get back home if we needed to. So what will we have to do here? I think... Ooh, yeah. Things doesn't look as nice as they were before, isn't it? Have they been raided? Maybe.
Poor bastard. Couldn't run because of the weight of his load. Still, better a branded than one of us.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Well, we can at least give it a try. Worst case scenario, we're at the same spot as we were before.
They're both as stubborn as the lover's pox, and every bit as irritating. The more one insists on their proposed plan of action, the more the other rails against it. Oh, they've successfully split the town asunder just when we should be standing as one.
True. Because the bandits are raiding everyone in the town, so yeah, they should come together. We might need to make a point of that when we're talking to them. There is no time for squabbles.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
In all honesty, they both have a point, but I think the survival of the town is much more important, so food, I would say.
What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costner's. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Well, if they just handle the food part, I think Jill and Clive can handle the bandit part, right? We're not gonna bring the hats down back to town, but we can at least deal with them.
We had enough fighting.
I know I bloody well have. The next time those
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It is.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along.
What he means to say is yes.
Yes, we're gonna play the bandit part, isn't it? Like, make them fear that they are coming, so they have to make a choice. It's gonna be something like that, isn't it? And the reason he's not telling is because he wants to see how we react when we see it happen. To be honest, I wanna see how it looks like when it happens.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own city guard.
We might as well scatter seeds near a rat's nest. They're the problem, and only steel will solve it.
I don't know about that.
Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, Are you saying that Dalamel's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
Nice case of manipulation.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, malady.
Afraid that Clive might not have picked up on what she was asking.
I wonder if Conrad has the right of it. We always called on sellswords and the men of the rock to guard our gates before. We don't have enough blades to arm everyone, nor enough physicers to heal the injured. I don't know if we can do this alone.
We'll be here to help as well.
Let us band together.
And hopefully there will be enough.
Next thing you know, Natalie'd be offering the bandits bed and board.
Bit extreme, but I get what you're saying.
I'll have my branded heal your hurt.
Right, let's see what her stance is and see if we can bend it a little bit our way.
If you're wondering why Dalimil's in such a sorry state, you can blame the bandits. Them and the mercenaries who are guarding the gates. Though I can hardly fault them for running. Fighting would have meant death. Did for more than a few.
Well, at least those few stayed behind to protect the town. Despite being destroyed because of it.
I mean, it may still be possible.
All this after the last sellswords we paid for proved themselves such reliable souls. You never throw good gil after bad.
Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
She noticed.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
Well, at least they are slowly pointing in the same direction.
This ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Alright, let's see what the next course of action is.
I'm ruined.
Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
Hold them off? I plan to annihilate them, really? With the powers we have? We should definitely be able to take care of them. Alright, let's go. Let's see what they want to throw at us. There has to be a few big boys in there.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
Oh, they're standing so nice together for us. I'm gonna use a shield, then you're just forcing my hand to be a little bit more aggressive. Ooh, the Sultan! Uh-oh. No, not yet. I pressed accidentally the wrong button, but who knows, maybe we'll be able to work with this. Come on, I wanted to. Am I getting hit by my own blast here? If that's the case, then there's no point in using that move, because what's the point if I get hit by it? Wait, there might be something else going on. Maybe it's one of the fighters here. I think he is one of those assassin type fighters, which I don't know why. Bandit slain. Yeah, we have to test out those mega flares a few more times just to see if that was the actual thing that hit me or if it was the enemy. Because these assassins, they also have like those like kind of smoke bombs or smoke attacks that can, well, they can basically knock you on your ass. So I don't know if it was the blast of the mega flare or was it his attack that did that, but only one way to find out, and that's to abuse the power a little bit more.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalimil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
Good.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm down, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment.
In regards to your fighting, yes. In regards to your acting, definitely not. Ooh, 500 points, nice. And another dilemma solved.
Now, if I could only convince the people of Costness to work together.
Well, if we need to destroy some bandits to make it happen, we'll be willing to help.
Dalimil will forever be in your debt. But don't go trying to take advantage of that.
Oh, you know we will. Alright, since we had 500 points, is that enough to master this? Yes. More damage. Always more damage. Good. Means we can now go back to the... Well, we could go back to the hideaway, but we might as well go straight to Northreach and help them out there too. Alright, let's go see what's troubling them. And of course,
Find Isabel.
if we can help them.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome indeed. Well, since we're here, we might as well stock up.
A fine, fine day to you.
I saw it with my own eyes.
And we're gonna see like an indicator in town about what's going on. Because it looks a bit more gloom than normal, but that could be because of the skies.
Fight those things.
My lord, malady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
Yes, we accept this quest. If we can help, we definitely will.
We've seen little and less of the soldiers of late. Anyone would think they were hiding.
Well, hiding, or they've been destroyed to a few, well, basically cowards, because they weren't there to fight in the first place.
We could leave. The two
Alright,
soldiers...
let's make our way to garrison.
Madame, please! Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered. Or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Yeah, it's understandable that they fear their life in a situation like this, but still.
I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors.
And where are they? Just around town? I guess so.
I can't entirely blame the men of the garrison for losing heart. And they have provided a place for the injured.
Well, then they are doing the bare minimum they can, and that's still not something to applaud for. They are guards, they need to protect the people, despite being scared shitless.
You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
My family?
With no one to defend the place. Moor's days are numbered.
Well, we'll do what we can to help. We always do.
That thing.
Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, they came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
I thought everything would be all right once we left the capital. But nowhere's safe anymore. Is it?
No, it isn't. Ultima is making attacks left and right. There's nothing we can do about that. Alright, this thing must be closer. And then we can use a chocobo to get there.
Good girl.
The blue glow everywhere. Extremely ominous. Well, we are in more, so there has to be something in town. Are we looking for monsters or are we looking for survivors? No indicators. What am I missing? Ah, there it is. We needed to be right out of town. Yeah. You can look for a lot of places, but if you need to be outside of town, then looking in town is not gonna do anything.
Should I prime?
Save your strength. You're finished.
Yeah, what kind of thrall is gonna come here to pick up the slack? Ooh, there it is. Proportional dick. We might need to get rid of the smaller ones too so we can focus. Alright, focus, focus, focus.
Let's try. Nice try.
Clive, you're wounded.
Don't worry, we got this. Oh yeah, definitely got a power up for that. Gotta be careful there. Yeah, those liches can get really tough at the last minute. He didn't want to go down. Can't blame him for that though.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Anytime. Quest complete. Yes, give me all the points.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Philippe will make a good captain. He reminds me a little of you, Clive. But without all the mocks and mows.
So basically you're saying a better version of me without iconic abilities. That's it, isn't it? I don't mind. I really don't. Alright, let's head back to the hideaway. Let's tell Otto everything is okay. Well, not okay, but at least better than this morning.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Taya says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
Let's hope he's okay. But with what he has in his chest, I'm pretty sure okay is far off.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed, But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, it was not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an Eikon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua.
Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Yeah, that's where Mid is. With her airship.
Well, what's the short of it?
Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Taya not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
Then he can be the shield that he always wanted to be.
Look after him.
Will Jill stay behind, or is she coming too?
My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
You know how I feel about this, but your brother's stubbornness knows no bounds. I'm starting to think it runs in a family.
I can definitely agree that it runs in the family.
Taya's right. Your brother is in no condition to travel. That's all I'll say on the matter. It's Mid, Gav, and your uncle we should be thinking about now.
Well, before we do that, there is a couple of things we can do around here. A couple of quests. And you know how it goes, when there are side quests, they go before we continue on with the main story. So for now we're gonna leave it here. On the next one we're going to start off with the side quests and see how far we can get. And when they are done we'll continue with the main story, and that is rescuing Byron and Mid. But for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time, as we're gonna see how we can help the people with some menial tasks. See you then, bye bye.